it's me, Morgan.
And it's Zane.
And we're here in the Teen Makerspace. And this week for our NEA Big Read Craft, we're going to be showing you how to make these mandalas.
Ooh.
Yeah.
And yes, it does, as you can probably tell by the amount of time in this video, it does take a while to make.
Yeah, but obviously the outcome is very, very cool and
we were pretty
satisfying.
impressed.
Yeah, definitely like it, but let's go ahead and get started because this is going to take a while.
Buckle up.
Alright everyone, so in your craft bag this week, this should be the only thing that's in there. And what you need to do first is go ahead and grab your dowel rods and like a permanent marker. You could use a pencil, it doesn't really matter. You just need to mark the middle of your sticks. So,
you could use a ruler to do that. We measured these out and it came out to be about 5.5 inches for all of them. So if you guys can just like mark that down on like some sort of ruler or, you know, just do some guesstimation, then that should work.
Yeah, I kind of just eyeballed it, but again, you can measure it out to just to be precise. But I already went ahead and made my second one, so you're going to make pretty much 2 of these, like what I'm about to demonstrate, but I'm going to lay this one over to the side here because I do not need that right now.
And if you guys don't really want to wind up making the 2 on top of one another, you guys are more than welcome just to go ahead and just make the one, or if you just want to do 2 separate ones, like that's all on you guys.
Yeah, so you could just pretty much just leave this as is and then just keep wrapping like different patterns like around like a 4-stick like mandala, or what we're going to do is make another one of these and then kind of like do this on top or underneath, and then you'll have an 8-point mandala. But for now, I'm going to make the 8. Zane's gonna make 4, and we'll just see what they look like at the end because they'll turn out differently, like trust me. And all your colors are gonna make yours very unique. So for now, I'm gonna go ahead and start with yellow because that's what the color I want underneath my purple since they're complementary colors. So first thing is I'm going to take this off. And you don't really want to unravel like all of this. Just find one of the ends and kind of start pulling it out. And then I'll put my scissors to the side. You don't really need scissors, but if you make your knots a little too long, it's nice to trim off some of the extra thread. For now though, we're going to line this up like this. See where I have my marks. And then we're going to take this and just tie a knot around it in the middle here. And then once you have that, we're going to make a double knot and make sure this is really, really tight. We do not want this coming undone or slipping.
I know this kind of seems like it might be a little intimidating at first, but once you kind of get into the rhythm of it, it's really not too bad.
Yeah, it's definitely tedious, but it's really cool. I'm going to snip just a little bit off, so I probably like a centimeter extra. And then I'm going to wrap it around like this, about 4 times. And then I'm going to bend it like that, right, Zane?
Yep, just like that.
Okay, and then I'm going to do that again where I'm wrapping it around 1, 2, 3, and then I'm going to do it like that again to the middle here, and then 1, 2, 3, like so. Alright, and then I'm going to start on the actual mandala shape. So to do that, we're going to use an over-under method. So right now I'm starting with this under here, like that. And then I'm going to move to my next stick. I'm going to go towards the right, like that. And then I'm going to go over and then under. And then I move to the next stick and I go over, under, and then I'm going to move to the next one. So I'm going to go on top of the stick and then go under and then wrap back around and then go on top of the next stick and then go under and then back around on top and then under And then that is the method that we're going to keep doing pretty much the entire time. So one thing I suggest you doing is, like, you'll start seeing your stick kind of like maybe start making an X, but we really want it to be like a plus sign, like a very straight, equidistant plus sign.
I think if you wind up doing it as an X, it's going to be more squarish shape.
Yeah, exactly.
I wound up doing it over on mine, and definitely like the plus is something a lot better.
Yeah, so see how this one turned out like more like an X, and then the purple one here that I made is more like a plus sign, so it's more diamond shaped, and this one's more of a rectangle. So, but if Zane had it a little more straight like that, see,
like my first one.
Yeah, like his first one turned out really nice, but this one kind of got away from him a little bit, but it's okay. That happens. If that does happen, just unwrap it and redo it.
Yeah, you'll definitely want to try and fix it sooner rather than later.
Yeah.
If you have to go back and do it later, then you're probably going to have to unravel pretty much all of it, and that's going to really suck.
Yeah, so that's why this part is really, like, the most important part is getting this part straight. So we're, like, as soon as I let go, it kind of wants to, like, go back into an X shape. That's why I'm kind of holding them, like, taut. And I'm just going to keep doing the over-under method until we pretty much run out of our first embroidery, like, color. So I'm going to go over and then under. Alright guys, so I'm pretty much at the end here of my yellow thread, so I'm going to make sure I have enough to tie it off at a certain spot. So I'm going to try here, and if not, I'll go back one and tie it there. But you just want to flip it over onto the back side here. Go ahead and just like wrap it a little bit. I might even like tuck it underneath here like that. And then again, you can go ahead and like snip some of it off, but I might just like keep looping mine and then hide it with the other thread, so I might not even cut any of mine. But that's what yours should look like. It takes some time, I know, but it looks really good once it's done. And then we're going to take the other stick and do the exact same thing. I already went ahead and did that to practice because I knew it was going to take a while. But then after that, we're going to lay them on top of each other like this. And then we're going to take another color, and that's how we're going to like pretty much tie them together. So once you have that one done, I'll show you what to do next. But I'm going to go ahead and pick out my next color here. So now that I have my other color picked out, I'm going to go ahead and use this green. And then again, just find the end like that. And then I'm not going to pick the same exact like one that has like the string here. So see how there's like a little bit extra string and like extra string here. So I'm going to place this there, and then I'm going to start with this one and tie it onto here. So we're going to tie it onto the top of whichever color you pick. And then I'm going to go ahead and cut a little bit of this off. Again, I'm only going to have like a centimeter. Okay, so now I'm gonna line this up again. That's how I had it before. Alright, and then I'm going to follow the same direction, so I'm going to go to the right. Start here. So we go over, and then under, and then see this extra string? I'm going to try to wrap that into the green, like that. And then over, under, over, under, over, under. We just want to make sure we're keeping all of the sticks here really straight, and we're pulling this really tight. We do not want this part to be loose at all. It might be easier to even hold it, like have it sitting flat on the table and do it that way. Just kind of cheat it a little bit like that, and then turn it. This part's really important, so it might take a little bit of time, but if you line it up straight, you will have no more problems the rest of the time putting it together. Alright guys, so now I have picked out my next two colors. I'm going to do these really nice complementary orange and blue. For now though, I'm just going to take the blue one and I'm going to show you guys how to make little points. So it's going to be a little bit different pattern than just like circle, 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 or diamond shape. So again, we're going to find the end of our thread. Okay, so for this one, instead of just going around to each one, we're going to pick a side over here. And again, I'm going to pick something that I haven't already tied onto yet. So I'm going to do this one. So take that and then tie a knot. After we have that, we're going to find the stick that is directly across from it. So obviously this one. We're going to flip it over, and then we're going to take our string and go underneath of here. Actually, I'm going to go this direction. So underneath, and then we're going to go over once, and we're going to wrap it around and go over twice. And then, again, make sure it's really tight here. And then we're going to go back to the other side.
It'll look kind of something like that by the time you're done with it.
Yeah, like this orange piece here. So Zane flips it over, you can see kind of like what we're going for is like these two.
No, this is this is just a 4-sided one here as opposed to an 8 one.
Yep, exactly. Okay, so again, we're going to go across here, and we're going to go over and under and over again, and then go back to the other side. so I definitely like how that looks. Very cool.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and take my next color, which is orange, and do the same thing. Alright guys, so I went ahead and picked, first, before I talk about the color I picked, I went ahead and finished all my little points here. It was the same exact method. So it should look something like this on the back if you decide to do the points. But now I'm going to take the next color. I picked out this nice like magenta, and I'm going to do another one of like the green patterns here to kind of break it up a little bit before I show you a different square technique. So just stay tuned for that. But for now I'm going to go ahead and flip it over and then find where to start. I'll start with this one here.
Speaking of staying tuned, you guys hanging in there?
Yeah, I know this is like a lot. But again, I hope it looks really, really pretty because I like how it's turning out. It's just it definitely is a process. You might just want to like have this on in the background, but like have some music on, or maybe your favorite TV show or something, because it's a lot of just like the same pattern over and over again. But you kind of still have to pay attention because
if you look away, it'll start doing things on its own.
Yeah, you're like,
oh. Realize.
Yeah, you're like, oops, I accidentally did the whole thing backwards. Alright, so I have that tied. So I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing. So we're going to go over and then under, over and under. I got to the end of that, so now I'm just going to tie it onto something back here. I'll tie it onto this orange piece. So that is what that looks like. It looks pretty sweet. So I'm going to take this darker blue color here, and then I'm going to show you how to make a square with this now. So we've done the octagon shape, but now we're going to do a square. So we're going to flip it over, and then we're going to pick how we want our square to be. So I kind of want it to be like that. So I'm going to start here in this corner. So now we're going to go ahead and go underneath the first one. So instead of just going from here to here, we're going to go from here to here. Then after that, from here to here, then here to here, and then back to the beginning. So we're going to be skipping each one. And instead of going behind it, we're going to go in front of it. And then once we get to the one we're going to tie it to, we're going to go over, and you guessed it, we're going to go under. So as you can see, I have my square here now, and I think it looks pretty awesome. So to tie it, I just tied it onto the orange piece right here to keep it like hidden. So next I'm gonna do another square, but instead of like doing on top of the one we just did, we have to start on one that we skipped over. So I'm gonna go ahead and flip it, and I think I started here. No, actually I started right here because I can see where I tied my knot. So I'm going to start it right there. So this is what it looks like now that it has the next yellow square. So this is the part that I just finished. I love how this is looking now. So I'm going to go ahead and pick out my next color, and then I'll show you guys what I'm going to do next. So I went ahead and did the next layer on the red here. I just did the over under on each single one, similar to the green and the purple here that I did. So you can do another layer like that, but you don't have to. I'm going to show you now how to do a star pattern. So it's kind of similar to the square that we did. but a little different. Instead of skipping just one stick, we're going to be skipping 2. So right now I'm going to flip this over, and I'm going to go ahead and just tie it onto this here. So similar, I'm going to flip this over just so that I can see. So I'm going to skip this one, and this is the one I'm going to tie it onto. So skip, and over, and around. I'm going to skip 1, 2, and then over and around, and skip 1, 2, and even if it's green right here, we're still going to skip over it. So we're going to skip this one, and tie it around here. Alright, so as you can see, it's a very cool star pattern in the back here. I really like how that looks. That's very cool. And then you can start seeing it in between these. It didn't give me very big points, so that's why I'm going to do another color on top of it. So for this, I'm going to do the exact same thing. Now that I have my next colors picked out, I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to do another one of those, like these around here. So as you can see, the farther I get out, the smaller and smaller my, I guess, hexagons get. So this one's like pretty thick, like 1/2 inch, and then this one's like 1 centimeter. So I'm probably gonna have to use this color and this color to make like a little bit of a thicker band, but I'm gonna go ahead and do that now. Okay guys, so I went ahead and finished the rest of this, like, voila. So for here, I added the points, as you can see, and that's what I was working on before it cut out. And then I went ahead and just did another 2, like, layers, just like over, under, and then it looks like that. So I really like how this turned out. I am shocked. Took a really long time to get to this point, I will say, but the payoff is so cool. Like, I genuinely love how this one turned out. So but we're almost done. This is the home stretch here. So first I'm going to move this up, and we're going to take our feathers, and I'm going to move my puff balls over here. You guys should have a bunch of different colors in yours as well. But for mine, I'm going to take this purple thread, so just make sure you have a little bit of extra thread, or you guys might have just like string or twine somewhere in the house. Like, you don't need that much, because I'm not going to make them that long, because I kind of want them to be like a little close to the bottom of my mandala. So maybe like that much, because again, I need some room to make sure I can tie things in a knot. So like that. And then I'm just going to measure the string so all of my string is the same length. So then I'm going to go ahead and tie each one of the strings onto the bottom part of the feather. And if you're seeing that it's like slipping or something, just put a little dab of glue on the string after you tie a knot, and then it should stay in place pretty well. Okay, so now that I have that done, I'm going to see what part I want to be the top and what part I want to be the bottom. So really, I'm just making sure that this middle part looks straight whichever way that I have it. And I kind of want a little bit extra at the bottom here. So I think I'm going to make this part the top. So what I'm going to do is flip this over, and I'm going to go ahead and tie these feathers on to the bottom here. So since I have a little bit of thread like connecting it, I can tie it right on top of it and it'll stay in place. And then I'm just going to hit it with a little bit of glue to to make sure it really is not going anywhere. Okay, so I have them all glued in place, so I'm going to let this dry a little bit, but I also need to flip this over carefully, put this down here. And now I'm going to go ahead and glue on my puff balls. Oh, and actually before I do that, I'm going to make a loop at the top so you can hang it onto the wall. So that's about like 8 or 9 inches right there, I would say. So from the middle at the bottom here, I'm going to tie this onto this part top. One second, I gotta flip it over. I'm going to take some of this like orange thread here and slip my purple in between here. And then, so it's like kind of just like, I can pick it up. And then I'm gonna do that with the other side of the string. The other side of this orange thread. I'm going to lift up my orange thread and slip it through, and then I'm just going to tie a normal knot. Okay, so now you have just a nice little loop that keeps it hanging. Alright, now it's time for the puff balls. So, I have my mandala finish. I never thought this moment would come.
Amazing.
It's amazing. Zane will go get his too, so we can see what that looks like. He set his up to dry over there. But I am so happy with how it looks. You guys saw at the beginning what ours looked like. Time is irrelevant, so...
There's mine.
Yeah.
I did, obviously, the 4-sided one, which,
Yeah.
Obviously I got done a little bit more quicker than she did, but yeah, I think they both turned out pretty good.
Yeah, and definitely way different, which I love. So that's why I'm like, you can't go wrong. Either way looks really, really cool. But I hope you guys enjoyed this. I enjoyed that it's done.
Yeah.
But I really do I like how this turned out. But again, the process is a long one. This is probably the most labor-intensive craft that we have done in the maker space thus far. And it might be like forever the hardest one. I don't think we're gonna try to do another difficult one like this, but it was hard to pass up because it is so beautiful.
And
yeah,
soft.
yeah, it's very, very pretty. So I guess we'll see you guys next week.
See you guys.
Bye.